man whose name is revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. He was born into slavery among a people who had been held captive by the Egypt of the pharaohs for 400 years. He led a rebellion against the world's greatest empire and handed down a moral law that has stood the test of thousands of years. His name was Moses.
The dream, O Pharaoh. It comes from Ra himself.
What does it mean?
A time of danger approaches. For you and for Egypt. The danger comes from a slave child. A child who will become a prince of Egypt.
And then?
Bring down both horse and rider.
Where can this child be found? Where can this child be found?
A boy.
For his.
Set adrift on the Nile by his birth mother, he was found by a princess of the royal household.
This is a slave child.
I don't care. I was meant to find him.
The Pharaoh had all the slaves, male infants, killed. He had a dream that one of them would lead a rebellion against the throne.
But really, I didn't find him. He found me.
You cannot let him live.
I shall call him Moses.
What if he is the one who's destined to bring down the Pharaoh? If power is meant to change hands, if this child, if he is the future, if he is the chosen one, then he will bring wealth and power to those he thinks of as his family. You saved his life. He must know that. He must know what he owes you and me. Send someone to ask if any of the slaves will be a witness for a newborn child. His mother will say yes.
What if it's a trap?
We have to risk it. For his sake. Tell her you will take the child back when it's safe. Until then, she's to care for it as if it's her own.
When I give him back to you, promise that he'll know those are his people too.
No. The princess gave birth to another son, Menerith, but she loved Moses no less.
Put your full weight behind it. Right, once again.
The brothers grew up as children of privilege, trained to take their place among the many princes of Egypt. As part of their education, they were taught the hidden mysteries of the House of the Dead, and of the sun god Ra, and the many other gods of Egypt.
You may want to cover your noses and your mouths. Man is but a shell, given the breath of life by the gods. And when that breath is taken away from him, this is all that remains.
How many gods are there in the world?
Oh, as many gods as there are nations, as many gods as there are men.
Who made the gods?
I'm afraid I don't understand your question.
Where did they come from?
They just are. They are part of the natural order of things. Look long enough, and very soon what happens? The stars begin to make patterns, and it's possible to understand those patterns and predict how they might change in time. You're princes of Egypt, not barbarians. You need to know these things.
No.
Loyalty is a wonderful quality, Prince Moses, but you'd be better served curbing that temper of yours.
You can't catch me. Come back here.
All this time, the child had been unaware of the dark secret of his birth.
I have to tell him.
Why must you?
Because I made a promise.
I'm gonna kill you.
You've always known that you and Menarith weren't brothers. At least not by blood.
I know you adopted me.
And I know that two brothers have never been closer. But now you have to know the rest.
Moses.
This is your father. I'm Jochebed. Your mother. This is your sister Miriam. And that's Aaron, your elder brother. When you were born, it was too dangerous to keep you. We had to give you up.
There was nothing else we could do.
I held you at my breast until you were old enough to walk. Then I gave you back to her.
Why?
We didn't just want to save your life. We wanted it to be a good one. We wanted at least one of our children to have more than this.
But you gave me away.
Oh, it was because we loved you. Oh, my son. Oh, my child.
The princess promised that we could tell you where you came from. That's all we want. That you should know. Then you can forget about us.
Inside lies the man who led us here, Joseph. His brothers sold him as a slave. He rose to become the Pharaoh's chief minister and brought us here to Egypt. But when that Pharaoh died, they enslaved us and kept us here. Do you hear that? That's the wind from the desert. That's where we came from. Men talk of the glories of Egypt, the things Egypt has built, but all of it stands on the bones of our people, is held together by our blood.
Is he one of your gods?
We don't worship a corpse, no matter how illustrious.
Then where are your gods? Did the Egyptian ones defeat them?
At one time, we believed in a god. A powerful one, the only one. But he hasn't spoken in all these years.
Is he dead?
Some people say that.
No. No, that's not true.
Then where is he? What has he done for us? Why does he let this happen to us?
You won't send me away to live like that? To be a
No.
slave?
You're a prince of Egypt. Your life was saved for a reason, Moses. You have a great future awaiting you. Forget about today. It was a mistake or a nightmare. Yes. Yes, it had to be a nightmare. You'll forget about it by morning. This is where you belong. This is who you are. Do you see a slave child there? A descendant of some sheep herder from the desert? Or do you see a prince? A prince who might one day become Pharaoh of Egypt?
Join me on the next campaign and see how a soldier lives.
In time, perhaps.
You have to get out into the desert where the god Set rules, before you get too soft for city living.
What is he a god of? Thirst, hunger, and slow death? No, thank you. I like the city. All a civilized man needs is here.
I have to get my men ready for review. Forget the desert. You're much more at home in a library. Or a marble bath.
Come here. What's the matter? Don't you like me? No! Please! Have mercy on her! Get out of my way! Please don't hurt her! Get out of my way! She's my wife! Please have mercy on her! Stop!
You can watch. It'll be even sweeter.
Leave her alone.
Why, Prince?
I said leave her alone.
She's only a slave. What would it matter, Prince? She'd probably enjoy it.
Why did you do that? Why did you kill a man for punishing a slave?
I was angry. No one should be treated like that.
The body's been found. Pharaoh's given orders for your arrest. You have to leave.
I won't let them take you.
You don't have any choice. He has to leave now, immediately.
Why don't you ask your slaves to protect you?
I don't want to bring trouble to them.
No, you'd rather bring trouble here.
Go now. Could I stand by and do nothing? Could I?
He was a slave.
Run. Go to your desert and die. And while you're dying, think of what you've thrown away. Think of the destiny that awaited you here.
I'll come and find you. Bring you food and water.
No, I won't let you risk your life for me.
We're brothers, don't forget that.
I'll never see you again.
You can't survive out there. You of all people.
I don't belong there. I don't belong anywhere. They should have let me die that night when the soldiers came. Why did I live and so many others die?
Wait!
The nights are cold.
Take your flock away.
You could have been killed in a quarrel that wasn't yours.
When a man hasn't mastered his temper, he'll find a quarrel anywhere.
My father will wish to thank you anyway. Unless you have some place, someone to journey to.
Egyptian.
I don't know what I am.
But you've lived in Egypt.
Yes.
Never liked cities. Especially theirs. Unnatural. Make you soft. Make you crazy.
In the cities, they say the desert does that. Makes men mad. If you can even find a way to survive in it.
Survive? It's got all you need. Not much more than that, true, but all you need. Just have to look. 7 daughters. Thought it was a curse. What did I do to deserve it? But they've learned. Proud of them. Especially that one. But to have a man around. When it's needed. Like today.
I didn't stop to think. Could have ended badly for everyone.
But it didn't. You did what a son would have done for me. Or a son-in-law. Even one who walked out from the desert, like a man without a past. Or who was running away from one.
Gershom. I name you Gershom. It means stranger. Like the stranger you took into your family.
There's green grass over there. Keep moving. There must be a stream there. Don't even look up there.
Mount Horeb. The holy mountain. It's not safe to go near it. There's danger there.
Moses. This is holy ground. I am the God of your fathers, of your people who are slaves in Egypt. I know of their suffering. I have chosen you to free them, to lead them to the land which I promised their forefathers.
Can't go back to Egypt. I killed a man there.
You will go back.
Why should they listen to me? Why should Pharaoh listen to me?
I will be with you.
You say you're their God, my God. What is your name?
I am who I am.
They won't listen to me. They won't believe that you've spoken to me. They won't.
Throw your staff to the ground. Pick it up.
Don't send me. Don't send me. I'm not the person you need. I can't do this. I can't do this.
It's you who I've chosen.
If your people need you, then you must go.
Never even lived with them.
If their God is telling you to go, is he the same God of the mountains?
I don't know. When I asked him his name, he gave me an answer I didn't really understand. It's as if he wants me to discover something about him for myself. I never asked for this.
You could always say no. The desert's a big place. Perhaps big enough for even a god not to find you.
should be happy. I listened, and I'm obeying. He talked to me, I can't talk to him.
If this is what he wanted, it'd make the going a little easier.
Stop. Moses? Moses. My son.
Did I bring trouble to you?
All that matters is that you're here again. You don't have to hide anymore. The old Pharaoh is dead. Ramses is Pharaoh now. It'll all be like it was before. You'll be a prince again.
This is my wife. And my son.
Where I go, they go.
The palace.
No. Not there.
Is this the house of Amram and Jochebed?
It was. And you are?
Moses. My name is Moses.
I'm Miriam. Your sister. How can it really be you? I'd see her sitting there and I knew she was thinking about where you were. What had become of you?
Yes. You were always her favorite. Even though you never lived here, never had to live with... Why are you back? What do you want? Egyptian. No man believes he speaks to God unless he's out of his mind.
He spoke to me. And I argued with him.
With God?
He can be demanding.
He gets angry at times. He's unpredictable. He has all this power, and yet he has to come to somebody like me to do things on his behalf. That makes him a little short-tempered at
You're
times.
talking about him as if he's a person.
He is, to me. Although he's still my God. He is our God.
You are mad.
He's told me how you're going to help me.
Me?
I know what you think about me, Aaron. But God wants to use you too. You're part of his plan just as much as I am.
So, God lets us be kept in slavery for all these years, and then he decides to free us, and the person that he chooses to do that is you.
Helped by you.
But he doesn't send you back with an army, just that barbarian wife. You're gonna lead a rebellion. You, who's never spent more than one night here. Who everyone here knows you turned your back on us. You turned your back on everyone.
All I know is that I am who I am, who sent me.
Who?
I am who I am.
How do you know that name?
God told me his name. But he wants me to think about it. Find some inner meaning in it.
That name is never to be spoken. When Joseph brought us here, he told us that one of the ways that God would reveal himself was in those words. I am who I am.
Time isn't right.
Even if we believed you.
The people aren't ready for this.
You think the Egyptians will let us go just because we asked?
You're talking of a rebellion. It takes years of planning. It takes an army. You think we don't want freedom? You think we haven't dreamed of it?
The Egyptians will fight back. And we know what that means. And who are you anyway?
He's Moses. He saved my life. And my wife's honor. This is a good man. Whatever he has to say, you should listen to him.
He may be a good man. That doesn't mean we should follow him to disaster.
That we should lose what little we have. Just because he says that God spoke to him.
Did he? In the desert, yes. I don't know why God chose me. I'm a stranger. I've never shared your burdens. Some of you probably think I'm more of an Egyptian than a slave, even now, but I know what happened to me out there. I know what God wants me to do. With Aaron's help.
Pharaoh, free your slaves! They came here as free men. Let them leave as free men.
We've given you our labor and our blood for 400 years. Now you give us something. Our freedom.
My people built this. They created the wealth of Egypt. Is their freedom too much to ask in return? God!
You have an army?
No.
Do the other slaves have an army?
No.
Then why should I let them go?
Because God demands it.
And where is he? This god of yours. I see my gods. My priests. I don't see yours.
But he's more powerful a god than all of yours.
Really? A slave god more powerful than the gods of all this? The children of Egypt perform tricks like this. What are you trying to prove?
You allow your people to follow their gods. Let us follow ours. Let us go into the desert for 3 days to worship. And then what? You will willingly return. Perhaps in that time you'll change your mind.
I doubt it.
Enough!
Pharaoh will not haggle with a slave. Take them back to the quarters. They should be at work with the others. A slave is still a slave, even if he thinks his god has told him to argue with his master. Menerith,
you make sure that one knows how hard slaves are expected to work. It's you.
This is my brother, too.
I see only one of our masters.
He's my brother.
Is it true? You found the god you were always seeking?
He found me.
And did he send you back here?
He does what he wants. I'm learning that. Sometimes I argue with him, but he always wins.
You won't win with Ramesses. Despite appearances, he's a weak, insecure man. They're the most dangerous when you attack them. You didn't just attack him, you humiliated him in public. I don't suppose you could talk our brother into leaving things as they are.
I'm his brother, you're his owner.
Aaron's as hot-tempered as me. His tongue is just as sharp. Maybe that's why God chose us to work together.
And die together.
If it comes to that, yes.
It won't. I told you. God spoke to me. He made me a promise. He may be difficult. Sometimes I wonder if he doesn't think he made a mistake in choosing me, but he made me a promise. He will not break it.
Thanks to you.
Listen! Would you rather stay slaves? Is that it? You like your chains? You want your wives and your children to live like animals? You want permission to live and die?
Egyptians killed him. They killed him. Tomorrow they might kill you, or you, or you. Years ago, their soldiers, they came here in the night and they killed all the newborn males. You didn't want to fight back then. You don't want to fight back now, no.
You want to blame those who want to save you from such a thing happening again.
Because a man is born in slavery, that doesn't mean that he is a slave. He has to think of himself as a slave before he is one. To be a free man, you have to start thinking like one. God sent me here to lead you out of here!
How do we know it was you he spoke to?
And what he said. My words aren't enough for you.
They weren't good enough for the Pharaoh. That's the point.
You've thought it over. Come to plead with me. Apologize.
To give you one final warning. Free your slaves.
God!
Why are you sending me away? Don't you love me anymore? I love you. Don't you love your son?
Yes.
Then why do I have to leave?
I'm asking everyone to give up everything they've ever known. I have to give up something too.
Me? Gershom?
If there were any other way, but I have so much to do. Terrible things are about to happen here. More terrible than anyone has ever known. I don't want the two people who mean most to me to be here for them. I know how powerful this God is. He's more powerful than anyone can ever imagine. It's time.
It is red silt from the river.
Come and see the trick.
Look at that.
Enough. Take it away!
It's with me. Must all my people suffer because of it?
Unless you do his bidding, yes.
Tell him to do his worst. I'll not surrender to him. Or to you.
Plague after plague ravaged the Egyptians, leaving only the slaves untouched.
My son. My firstborn.
Imre!
I told him all about you. I wanted him to meet you. This is Moses, my brother. A great, great man. Wait for me by the gate. How much longer will this torment continue?
Until he frees us.
He'd have had you killed by now. But he knows what your God can do. He's afraid of his power.
Ramses can put an end to it at any time.
A weak man is the worst of all adversaries. He mistakes stubbornness for strength. He'll fight on when a strong man would leave the battlefield knowing all is lost. You're a stubborn man, too.
Because I know I win. God will win.
And then what?
Ramses will free us.
And what can we do in the meantime?
Pray to your gods that Ramses will spare your people further suffering.
They were your people too once. Weren't they?
Surrender to a slave. Is that what you want your pharaoh to do?
Who else counsels this?
The skies rained down pestilence and fire, leaving the pharaoh and his sorcerers powerless, until the very face of Ra himself was hidden from view.
It is not possible, of course, that mighty Egypt could be destroyed by this man Moses and his God. But there are those who begin to fear it. They say freeing a few slaves is but a small price to pay. Penrith. How much longer can I count on my army?
I'm a soldier. I'll tell you in plain words. Men have seen their women and children go hungry, seen them fall sick, seen them lose everything they have, including their faith in the power of the Pharaoh to protect them.
This is blasphemy!
Silence!
They would rather have the slaves freed than lose what little they have.
I am Pharaoh. The centuries look down on me. I am a god. I am a god. No. No. I stand firm. I will not be moved. I will not sacrifice that much of what I and my son have.
Pharaoh! Pharaoh! Years ago, the previous Pharaoh had a vision of a prince of Egypt who would bring mortal danger to the kingdom.
Moses is no prince of Egypt. He's a slave.
No, he's not a slave. He's my son. I found him in the river. And I brought him up as my own child, as a prince of Egypt.
I told the Pharaoh this prince of Egypt would bring down both horse and rider! Get him out! Go! Make it go!
Just the men.
No. The women and the children, too.
The women, but not the children.
All. Everybody. The old, the young, every slave you own.
Not the flocks and herds.
Yes.
No.
We leave nothing that is ours.
That is not for you to say.
No. It's for God. But he speaks through me.
I am Pharaoh.
I am Moses.
I'm willing to bargain.
I am not.
I am the sun, the moon, the Nile. I rule in this kingdom, and I rule in the life after death. If this man enters the palace again, he is to be killed. Instantly.
And what now? What now?
freedom is near. Very near. Our God has brought us this far. There is only a little way to go. These are our last hours as slaves. Remember them. Tell your children to tell their children how bitter our captivity was. We must never forget. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Are you ready?
Get ready for a journey. Roast meat. Bake bread. Eat with the bitter herbs that have been all we have had to savor our food with. Be ready to leave at any moment. Smear some of the blood from your meal over the door of your house. Do not forget that. Every door must have that sign on it. It will protect you. And then wait. Wait. Wait.
Moses, my brother! Manureth!
My son was taken too.
I grieve with you.
You grieve? Wasn't this your doing?
It was God's.
You willed it. Ramesses will give you your freedom now. Your God won. I think your God is a cruel one.
Years ago, Pharaoh sent his soldiers to kill our children.
I wasn't among them. My son wasn't there. Why should we be punished?
I do what God tells me.
If he told you to kill me, would you do it? Would you?
The men and the women and the children.
Yeah.
With all their flocks and herds.
Yes.
before they leave, their masters and mistresses will give them gold and silver as tribute for the labor of 400 years.
Yes.
Menrith won't see you. He's still grieving for his son. For my grandson. I can't pretend to understand. Sometimes I think I don't know who you are anymore. Perhaps I never did. All I know is that I love you. You're my son, too. And I'll never stop loving you. Will I ever see you again? Will your God let me see you again?
Egyptians betrayed us. Now I'm taking them back to the only place I can. The desert.
What are you doing? You can't disturb Joseph's grave!
This is sacrilege!
We're his tribe, not the Egyptians. He belongs with us.
Keep them moving. We're not safe yet. He could still change his mind. Come on.
Where do we go, Moses? Which way? Promised land? Where is it?
How do we get to it? How long will it take?
How will we live till we get there?
that we know who Moses is? Who are you? Fight!
Go back! Tell Pharaoh! trap. You've led us into a trap. What kind of leader are you? You'll have us killed, all of us!
Moses. You know my voice. You know who I am. Yes. Do you trust me? Yes.
to escape.